platform. I'm your host, JD. If you're new, please do consider liking, sharing, and definitely subscribing. And if you're a member of the platform, massive respect to all you lovely people. So, as you saw by the title, we're going to be talking football right across the world. Mo Salah, ex Liverpool. What's the situation there? And which one of the sides you're looking to take, if any? And then we are going to be looking at Arsenal being hunted by the Sharks. I've been watching a lot of Premier League games, and then some roundup of some Jamaica Reggae Boyz games that we saw, some Reggae Boyz that played. Yes, we saw those as well, so I wanted to include it in the conversation. And people, I should be coming to give you my reaction to the World Cup draw. All right, because a lot of things took place and I never had a opportunity to really cover it. So you should look out for that one. I'm going to do a stream or a shorter version video. But obviously I told you guys that I was sick from the other day. All right, so we saw people coming in. As you come in, please do hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Only a short time we're going to be doing this because my kid has to go to bed 8:45. So we have like a solid 40-50 minutes. All right, we saw professional pro club in the building. Big up yourself. We have float management in the building. Jamrock, Kevin Jones in the building so far. So let me start with Salah here. All right. So yesterday Liverpool drew 3-3 with Leeds. They had the lead twice in that game, and they kept dropping points. All right. So after that, Salah decided that he's going to go into the box and spoke on the matter. All right. So Salah pretty much said that the relationship with the coach have actually dropped off, and what he did not like, no one tried to report, like explain to him anything at all. So what I want to ask you guys, is it fair for Salah to speak out on the club, on the coach like that? Pretty much, because people have to be honest. What he said is literally the relationship with him and the coach is pretty much not there, and no one explained to him why he's on the bench, which is important because I heard a lot of people reported on it but never gave it its just due. He literally said he never got an answer. So for me, I take it when you're the one of the main players of the club, I think if certain major decisions are going to be made because coach does have their plans that they planned out for a period of time, I think I can give you the information if you're in my plans, and I think it's right to give him the information that he's in his plans or not, so he knows that means okay, my system wasn't working, and I do believe that I need more defensive coverages. So based off me wanting more defensive coverages, I will put a midfielder, which is Sabaslai, a little bit wider just to get that coverage so we can set up more sturdy, because obviously it's only when we are very good we start to expand. That's how big team goes. You have to build it from the base, the defense, midfield, and then you expand. When you're so dominant in midfield and defense, that's when you can carry like passenger type players. Not necessarily passenger, because Salah is a top player. The difference with Salah is he is a attacking threat only. And those players have to be carried by the rest of the team because they are so dominant. They are strikers playing wide areas because they don't have the physicality to play in a striker role. So that's it. And last year he did it well for Liverpool, broke his actual tally. He was impressive. So for me, I think that it's bad communication. The coach is on Slot is under pressure, and he just decided he's gonna do things and don't talk. And I think you have to maintain yourself and your standard, and with your players, then you go down the ship, and you go up the ship with your players. That's what I do believe. All right, all right. When you say tuck in chet, what do you mean? Tuck in chet. I think that would have been inverted wingers. It would have been inverted wingers. All right. Massive respect everyone that is coming in. It would have been inverted wingers more than anything else. That is a tuck in threat. All right. So when you play a narrow formation, tucking threat would have been the inverted wingers them, or inverted forwards. That's what it would have meant. But that's the difference. Salah is a ridiculous quality player. That I thought that they dealt with him a little bit bad in the sense, and I think once they did so, he had the right to speak out, but not the way he did it. I think a lot of people will get upset on the way he did it and not necessarily with what he did. Because I think he has all rights to ask for an answer. Like, why are you guys not working with me? Nobody's speaking with me. I'm training. Maybe I don't get the plans like what we're gonna be doing. I think you should. You owe him that. You owe him that to give him that. That's what I believe. And I think most of you guys believe that as well. But I think the way he went at it wouldn't be the most professional way, in my opinion. All right. Me sorry for Salah when him dad had a bad him that bad-minded man, him never know say him when he was showing Mane's bad faces, you thought that he should have dug two holes. Okay, I remember back then. F Gunner, big up yourself, thanks for being here. Mex, big up yourself, thanks for being here. Rob James in the house, massive respect. Yes, so that's the big news. But the actual big news in football was Arsenal took on Aston Villa. Aston Villa and Arsenal have always been a incredible game. Incredible game. And this one, the only thing about this game, I was surprised that it actually finished 2-1. This game should have been easy, well, 7-3 if everyone is clinical, 5-2-3. But all of the scores should be Aston Villa winning the game. Aston Villa was better than Arsenal. I thought that Arsenal had only one good spell in the game. Pretty much, I would give Arsenal 5 minutes in the first half, 3.5 minutes in the first half, and in the first 3.5 minutes they actually jump on the gas. And to be honest, the second half, 10 to 15 minutes in the second half, they had a very good spell. So Arsenal had 10 to 15 minutes in the second half and 3.5. So 18 solid minutes Arsenal truly played in that game. Aside from that, Arsenal looks very shaky. Let me give you what they started with, so maybe you could figure out why they were shaky. They had Ben White around the back, which doesn't look as comfortable. He makes Raya struggles with Ben White. Ben White gives Raya 10-yard passes, and he has to be using space even inside his own goal. He almost scored a own goal within the first 15 minutes because of the poor back passes to him and the press. Credit to the press from Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins did a very good job. Rogers was incredible. His running level, his levels, tracks per game is incredible. That is Rogers. So they did put Arsenal under heavy pressure. Incape, you know that we know Incape from South America. He is very good, but and I thought that he did well in this game. Aside from some little clumsy errors, I think everyone was poor with Watkins. Watkins is such a beast of a player. Based on his hold up. Timber is like 5'7", 5'8", so he had no chance stopping Watkins in the game. Watkins should have made it 1-0 very early on in this game. Cuts in, beats both of them, and put it down, and Raya made a very good save. So it should have been 1-0 pretty much 10 minutes in the game. All right. Yes, and that's how the first half continued. And Arsenal did get their opportunities, but most of Arsenal opportunities, they are taking long shots. Odegaard, to be honest, he was taking long shots and relying to get second balls or corners. That's what I thought that they were looking for. They weren't up for it, and it's a second game. I saw them play against Brentford. I did report it on it, and they kept losing second balls. So based off them kept losing second balls, they cannot maintain attacks or spring attacks from midfield, and that's where Arsenal was always so good, because they won it back in midfield. So Rice Zubamendi and Odegaard need to do way, way better. Way, way better. Because they are losing 2 games in a row and they have gotten dominated in second balls in midfield. And that's why Arsenal struggled to keep possession always. And I'm talking productive position, not just passing at the back. I'm talking productive position in transition. All right. Yes, Zavish is someone's best game for Tottenham, but we're running through the Arsenal game. All right, so Arsenal did took a little lead, then dropped off a little because it what no one mentioned. Even when Arsenal had their 15-minute spell, the counters for Aston Villa was always there. The 2 passes to be into the final third was always there. And once a team can do that to you, I think you're not in the advantage position. All right. So even when that's why people kept saying, "Oh, Arsenal got the goal and they never continued." They never continued because Aston Villa never made them continued. Aston Villa kept running from the left-hand channel and they kept getting away. So the problem is Arsenal just wasn't as athletic and ready for them on that day, and that was the biggest problem in my opinion. So is it time to worry for Arsenal? I think they will get the win over Wolves because Wolves in free fall at this point. But I think Everton will become a challenge for them if they can't get back the back line. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Hello, babes. Yeah. Yes, sure. You want to speak to her? Okay, yeah, because I'm on the live. Yes, I'll call you back. Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. Yes. So it makes it more entertaining. So the league is back to a close position. So it makes it more entertaining. So that's the main thing. I would say it makes it more entertaining. All right. All right. All right. So people like it. All right. Yeah. All right. So let me move on. So with all of that said, this is how the table looks. Arsenal on 33 points after 15 played. Manchester City on 31. Aston Villa in impeccable form on 30 points. So Aston Villa with good results and others drop points. Aston Villa could jump from obviously their goal difference would have keep them from a first position. So Aston Villa, I don't think they can hit first, but they can match the points with Arsenal and potential City as well in the next game. So they are doing very well. Congratulations to Aston Villa. Crystal Palace finished off the top 4 with Chelsea, tumbled after drawing with Arsenal, Everton and Brighton with Sunderland in the top 8. Liverpool just outside in 9th position. So even though Liverpool is so terrible, it will take 2 or 3 wins and they're back in the top 4. So he shouldn't have thrown everything out of the pram, you know? Yeah, so that's the situation at the point, people. At this point, that's the situation. For me, I think it's going to go down to the wire. Arsenal will get a few players back. They have games that they can win because that's the good thing about Arsenal. I think that they have won the games and that they should have won this season. But where I think Arsenal has the problems is the games them that is 50-50, they tend to don't win this season. They lost to Liverpool, they drew with City, they lost Aston Villa, they drew with Chelsea. So the game that you truly thought that they should have they are going to have different challenges in would have been the Newcastle game because Newcastle defeats them so much times over the last 2 years and they did defeated Newcastle. So that is the only one win that they actually picked up. So even though people looking at the games and saying Arsenal doing well, they have defeated the teams them that that they should have defeated. The problem is they need to defeat the teams them that we expect it to be 50-50. And that's why I'm not so fully sold on Arsenal as yet. So when they beat Manchester City, beat Liverpool in the next coming, and beat Chelsea, beat Aston Villa again, that's when he can say, yes, Arsenal is title. The title is theirs because they have been beating the teams that they should beat. Yes, Everton will be very, very tough. Glitter World, very, very tough. But I'm saying they have defeated the teams them that they should have defeated. It's just the top teams them this season. They have failed to defeat everyone except one. You know? So only Newcastle alone that we expected it to be a 50-50 game, which it was close. Because they only won the game 1-0. It was close. So I'm shocked that my friends are so over the top when I looked at it, you know? Yes. So with that said, you had a few reggae boys. Ethan Pinnock never played. We had a Mothersill. Mothersill got some game time. King did play. They got a win. All right. I'm just running through those things just for you guys to get some information. All right. And then tomorrow I will come with all setups and we can break down things for 2 hours. All right. Yes. Leon Bailey for Roma, he never got any game. They lost that one 1-0 as well. All right. And let me drop this one in. And then I take a few questions. Messi, congratulations to them. They have won the MLS Cup. So that is important. Yes, that's important for him and his legacy. All right. So drop your questions, guys. So we do 5 more minutes. If they don't win the league this year, do you think Arteta should stay? No, I think they should change up things. Um, because now they have the players. They have the players that proven that they can hang because they can win all the games and that they should win. But they need a better tactician to deploy players a little bit different because sometimes Arteta could be too predictable. He could be too predictable at times. So that's why. And if it doesn't work for him again, I think that this is the last year for City not figuring out their defense. And if they figure out their defense, I think Arsenal is not better than them in midfield or forwards. They are not. People like soccer and everything, but Doku playing now. Cherksey looking. Alan, he will miss his big chances, but he will finish at a rapid rate. I think if they can't win this year, Arsenal can't win the league for the next. I don't forever for a long time again because Liverpool will not be the same Liverpool next year. Chelsea has maybe some of the highest potential players. Young players coming through, you know them already. They have bought so much players, they don't even know where to put players. All right, so I think this is Arsenal's year to win it, and if they don't, I think that's it for the manager, and they need to get someone that people can push them to the next level, especially someone that did it before. That's what I do believe. Maybe even Unai Emery, because some would say that Unai Emery. Let me know. Let me know. Maybe Unai Emery could take them further because I've seen Unai Emery. Unai Emery is very good at taking average teams and do well with them, and then get a decent team. Because Aston Villa, remember good, because sometimes people forgot things too fast. Aston Villa gave PSG their best game and better than even Arsenal game. So Aston Villa was the hardest team PSG played. All right, and so Unai Emery needs to get credit. So I think if Unai Emery gets the Arsenal squad, Unai Emery might do better with that Arsenal squad. You understand me? Because Aston Villa keeps on playing every time they move on with Leon Bailey, and a lot more players, and they kept just giving you performances after performances after performances. So at this point, I think Unai Emery would have done better. Because remember, even the trophy that he won, you could say that Unai should have gotten 3 quarters of that trophy, All right. Obviously, the challenge in the final was big, but at the same time, Unai brought them there. We need to remember these things. All right. Yes. Hopefully, Tottenham will slowly come back. Thomas Frank is another good coach. Glitter World. Don't give up on Thomas Frank. You saw what he did for Brentford. He's an analytic coach and he can get it done, but everything takes time. You can't just get it overnight. The reason why we're talking about Arteta like this is because he had the team for so long. You understand me? Yes. If Arsenal had Osimhen, I think yes. What a, and they thought that Mr. Oh God. He's so big. He's so big and he got bullied in the game yesterday. Bullied like I couldn't believe Yacarez. I don't know what he was doing yesterday. Everyone 50-50. The first 5 minutes he looked solid. When everyone was playing good, he looked solid. But after that, man, guy just drop off like a big stone, man. So Yacarez, I am surprised for a 6'3", 6'4" person. Physicality looks like it's not his game. So what is his game? What is his game? I need Jason Goon and those guys to tell me. What is his game? JD, I know Man City, your team, but when I try to watch them play, they play so boring. No, no, City nowadays is not boring anymore. City playing speed transition with Doku and a lot of skillers. So that's why City can't play defensive football anymore because they are not playing boring. They're playing more expansive. And that's why every team is going at them because they can't keep their shape at the back because they're using two midfielders to play wide backs. And it's not working. So yesterday game was lekker. Oh my God. You saw Cherokee's Rabona flick. Oh my, what are you talking about, blood? Oh, you mean they're playing maybe City and Aston Villa playing some of the most free flowing football? That's why five in the it was what 5-4 in the Fulham game. 9 goals scored in that game, and a lot of missed chances. Boring games don't end up like that. No, man, no, no. City playing more open football in the last 2 years, and that's why I think Pep has struggled because he's trying to mix physicality with technical plays, and it's very hard to do so. Yes, Billy, is how you're a boss of it. Oh, brother, we're on the show, blood. Let me just work on the show, all right? Great show. You should be on shows with the best of enemies with Robbie and Expression. Well, I talk football, and I think most people, I do talk it from a analytic and a coaching standpoint. So sometimes people will just give their feelings. I'm just gonna stick with the facts majority of the times. Yes, I like both of them, man. They're wonderful people for football in general to improve football over there. Yes, no problem, man. This is just a one off, but I'm going to make streams in the future that I only talk on EPL and such, all right? Before the game, Arsenal owns by Sharks. Arsenal have the most points, and supporters of teams with less points know what Arsenal should do. One bad week, and they are losing their minds. Arsenal have not had one bad week because they played 15 games. 15 times 3 is 45 points. You have 33 points, so that means 12 points went somewhere, and you never lost 12 points only in this window. You did lose to Liverpool. You drew with City. You drew with Chelsea. So stop making up stories, and that's why they have said Arsenal might just be a Netflix club because nobody can just tell them the honesty, and we can respect the opinion of rivals. You understand me? Yes, we should have shut up and dribble. All right. So, people, I will leave it right there. Thanks for everyone passing through. Tomorrow I will come out with a better show. All right. A better show and with much more details on the screen. If you're new, please do consider subscribing. Share the contents around. All right. I will add some more Reggae Boys because I want to have the opportunity to watch them and then I can break it down a lot more. Gunners, Missy, I know you guys are Arsenal fans. Don't worry yourself. All right. City fighting for top four, and they are 2 points behind Arsenal. Oh God. Yes, come with better cause this one not cutting it. All right, sorry if you didn't like it, Dockland. Thank you very much. Glitter World, thanks for being here. All right, at least you like it. Dockland didn't like it, which Dockland is a menace to society. All right, yes. But thanks all the lovely people. Please do hit the like button, share and subscribe. No Tottenham, come on. No, I did spoke on Tottenham. I did spoke on Tottenham. You asked me about Javi Simons, and I said that Simons is that was his best game in a Tottenham shirt, but he never got enough game time because what I said about Arsenal, maybe I never broke it down fully. You build from defense to midfield to forward. Tottenham is in disarray at this point, so they're trying to build everything. So Javi Simons fitting him in is going to be the when you're trying to look for the expansive side. So that's why they took so long with the injury. It took so long to bring him in, and this was his best performance. Javi Simons is one of the most talented players in the entire Premier League. I've been watching that kid. I wanted to try and get him to play for Suriname from around what 6 years or 7 years ago. But obviously he was a high prospect. But we never knew how far he would have reached. And now he's out of the league to even play for Suriname because he got capped for Netherlands in the end. But that's how long I've been watching that kid. Yes. So Simons, Tottenham still need pieces and they have an injury problem, injury crisis as well. So I'm surprised that people talks about injuries. Two of their players injured. City 2.5 years. City been plagued with defensive injuries and injuries right over. Tottenham for 2.5 years. Tottenham had the most injuries right throughout the league, and now 2 to 3 players injured for a team, and they start making all sorts of excuse, and they spend $1 billion. $1 billion to make excuse for 2 to 3 main players out. All of the best teams them played with main players out and won Champions Leagues, won Premier League. So stop the excuses. Come on, Gunners. Roll the leather. No excuse. Aston Villa defeated you with both of those defenders on the field more than once, and they did it without them on the field. All right, yes. So sometimes we have to learn to give the opposition credit. That is very much important in life. All right, all right. So people, take care of yourself. See you in the next one. Bye bye.